All right, welcome everyone. We have a really thrilling and thorough webinar for you today. I'm Diana Richardson. I am the Community and Events Director here at Content at Scale. And if you've been paying any attention to social media or your email, you know that we had a major launch last week with most of our team in San Diego. It was real time happening. It was pretty exciting stuff. But there was so much going on, we wanted to walk you all through it. So that is what we are going to do here today, live on the air. No holds barred. Technical issues might happen. We don't know. It'll be crazy and exciting and fun all in the same. If you're part of the Content Hacker community, make sure you check in here in the comments so that I can see you and you can be entered to win a free content plan. So I'll be moderating comments while the rest of my colleagues show you what we got through V3. Can't wait to do it. Let's get started. I'm going to start introducing my colleagues for you here. So with me right now is Jeff Joyce, our Director of AI. Let me bring in Jeff. Hey, Jeff.
Hello, everybody.
You can see he's got a bit of a studio happening behind him. He was just telling us he is going to have a studio makeover this weekend, and we should have fun things revealed on Monday.
Absolutely.
Great.
Good times.
Okay, I also have with us Ben Harper, who is our Director of RevOps. Hi, Ben.
Hey, everyone.
Hey, and so Ben is joining us from the UK, so it's not exactly 1 p.m. Eastern for you, is it?
Nope, 6 p.m. here, and yeah, it's been a long day already.
All right. Also joining us today is Neil from our success team. Hey.
Hey, guys.
Welcome, everybody. So we've got some really cool things planned. I can see lots of check-ins. That's great. We're also joined today by our head of success, just in time. Here's John Pratt. Welcome.
Howdy. How's it going?
All right, great. We are going to go through some really incredible things today. I'm going to moderate the comments, so please keep the comments going. We're going to have time at the end to answer your live questions with the team, so don't hold back. I've got you covered. I can see everything that you're asking. And otherwise, I'm going to let the team take it away and show you all of the incredible things. Oh, we actually have one of our other colleagues just joining us. She's the president of Content at Scale, and this is Julia McCoy.
Hey, fashionably late, like a diva.
Yeah, just in time. We were just going to kick it off with some incredible screen shares and walkthroughs. And I'm actually going to go ahead and hand over the webinar to Jeff because he's going to give us a deep dive into what the updates were, some of our generative AI features, and he's going to give you a lovely walkthrough. And we're already ahead of schedule, so take your time, Jeff. And if you can, go ahead and share your screen and let's get started.
All right. Let me go ahead and share here. Actually, maybe move StreamYard first. That way we're not seeing duplicates of everybody. All right. Share screen. All right. Can we get a 1 in chat if everybody can see my screen here? Just 1 second. Let me know if you see that, Diana. Oh, cool. So everybody can see it? Awesome. Okay. So do we see it? I just want to confirm that everybody see it. No. Okay. We got a bunch of no's in here. It went away. Technical difficulties, like we said. This is our first large scale webinar. So
do I need to change a setting maybe, or you've got it?
It doesn't give me access to actually do anything. I have my screen being shared, but it's not showing up in StreamYard like actual presentation. So you might see a screen from me that says Jeff Joyce and it has like a little monitor on it. You should just be able to click on that and add to the stream.
Let me see. Oh, here we go. I gotcha. There you go.
Awesome. All right. Now everybody should be able to see my screen. All right. So with V3, our goal was basically to help you get more of your work done quickly. And we released 3 different content suites. We have our generative AI suite, which includes Amy, which is kind of like our replacement for ChatGPT. And I will get deeper into that later on in my section of the webinar. But we also have Content Producer, which is mainly our long form writer that everybody knows and loves. but we made some adjustments to it to add things in like better optimization scores. And if I actually go into here, we can actually see we have things like optimization audit feedback, and it's just more built out, enabling you to get really good SEO content created quickly. Another feature that we released was our rank well suite. This is all about ranking and making sure that you're actually able to, dominate the rankings and give you really in-depth analysis and like content intelligence, keyword research, and we have some more features around that coming soon. But one of the main things I want to talk about today is actually going into the generative AI suite, because we have a lot of really cool things that you can do with generative AI, in which this is what it looks like when you're on the generative AI screen. And it immediately takes you to what we call Amy chat. Amy is kind of like your generic across the board, jack of all trades chat that you're able to interact with to do all sorts of things. But built into this, we also have things like blueprints, which are specific tools to get certain tasks done. Like in here, we have listed Amazon Listing Expert and Shopify Expert. What these would be is basically for you to able to, let's say you're going to release a new product on Amazon. You would select this, fill out all the product information, click Start Chat, and we'll give it a second here. And it'll immediately start prompting you. You'll be able to go back and forth, have a conversation with it, and you'll get an output from the actual Amazon Listing Expert. In here, we also have AI agents, which is by far my favorite part of the generative AI suite. These agents are not like your generic jack of all trades style ChatGPT inspired, chat interfaces. These are agents that are custom built to actually get things done. So for instance, some of the ones I have selected right here are Caitlin, professional writer, meaning that she actually specializes in writing really good content that could be for pretty much anything that you want to do. One of my favorite ways to use it is actually writing like content upgrades and ebooks, but we also have virtual event coordinator, branding specialist, advertising, and the list goes on. You can go through here. There's 40 total agents, and you can use them and mix and match them however you want, but they are specialized and trained in order to get a specific thing done for you. As opposed to going to like ChatGPT and just having a conversation, this actually enables you to get the work that you want done quickly. And inside this main screen, we have here a whole entire document editing suite. So on this left-hand side, you're able to create documents. So I click here and create a new doc, and we're going to call this content upgrade. We can adjust the title here, content upgrade. And I'm kind of foreshadowing here that what we're going to be doing really quickly is creating a quick content upgrade, just going through that. And so you're able to actually see all of your documents here. So you always have them stored. And just like with normal casts, and if you've ever edited inside of our mainline app, you have features here on the left, on the right, sorry, where you can export to Word, you can export to HTML, you can see the source code. We have an Ask Amy button here, which actually provides you with a ton of features, such as undetectable rewrites. So if you get something out of the AI that maybe is flagged as detectable content, then you'd be able to rewrite it. You can improve the writing, fix spelling, grammar, make it shorter, make it longer. You can change the tone, simplify the language, or summarize. So there's a ton of stuff that you can do inside of this. And what I want to do now is actually do a quick example of how we would create a content upgrade. In here, I have an article that we actually created, that I had created, called Ace the Game, How to Play Pickleball Singles. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this entire article. And let's go ahead and go back into our generative AI suite. We're going to select Amy Chat. And I'm just going to ask Amy, can you summarize this for me? And then I'm going to provide it the entire blog post. I'm going to click submit. And what it's going to do, it's going to create a summary of that entire blog post, which is going to make this process really, really awesome. Give it a second. And while it's doing that, I'll go ahead and read some comments. Jeff's AI agents are life. I love it. All right, looks like we got an error. Let's go ahead and refresh the page and try that again. Technical difficulties. All right. But there is a ton of different ways that you can use agents for social media posts. You can use it for any type of content that you want written. You can use our AI agents for, and they are all specially trained in order to complete a specific task. The reason why I'm choosing Content Upgrade today is mainly because we already create excellent content with content at scale, and just going a step further to capture email addresses by using content upgrades is just an excellent use case for our generative AI suite that I absolutely love. So we can see that I immediately created a summary of this. And I can actually just add this straight to the editor. I can copy it or add it to editor. And when I add it to editor, it looks like that. So you can go through here and format it however you want. And the entire generative AI suite, all the agents, blueprints, you're all able to add that to your editor and create your document right here on Content at Scale. You don't need to go to Google in order to create anything, or go to Google Docs. You can just do it all within Content at Scale. So let's go ahead and take this summary. And actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to Caitlin and I'm going to say, I want to write an ebook. And I want to show you a comparison between Content at Scale, our generative AI suite, and ChatGPT, and what happens when you actually say that you want to do something with one of our agents. So as you can see, the response here says, that's fantastic. Writing an ebook can be a rewarding project. Before we begin, I'd like to know more about your vision for this ebook, and starts asking questions. This is something that ChatGPT doesn't do, and I'll show you exactly what ChatGPT does. One, what is the topic or genre of the book? Who is your target audience? How long do you anticipate it to be? Word count, pages? Do you have any specific stylistic preferences or requirements? Do you already have content prepared, or will everything need to be created from scratch? So it's already asking you questions and prompting you back in order to actually get everything that it needs to create an awesome ebook for you. Now, if we contrast that with like ChatGPT, I go here and I kept the same exact prompt. I want to write an ebook. What ChatGPT does is it lays out everything for you, but it's telling you to go through this process. Instead of prompting you in like concise questions to get down to the exact task that you want to complete, it's giving you a generalized feedback answer. And so from there, we can actually say this. We can actually just answer these questions. Now, I'm not going to do that here live because that's going to take us the entire webinar, but you can already see the power of AI agents. It's very, very detailed, it gets right to the point of what you want to do and make sure that it has all the information that you need to get it done. Now, one thing that I haven't touched on yet, which is by far like one of the most amazing things about Generative AI Suite, is actually going to be within our agents. We have this here, create personalized profile. Now, we have our unique voice within our own, with our blog articles and our main app. But with this, we go one step further. We go through a process of analyzing your personality, going over your skills and your writing sample. We take all of this information. So if you go through the personality assessment, you'd click on each one of these answers, so strongly agree, and it would analyze your personality. And we take that information along with the skills that you input and your writing sample to create a very, very robust personalized AI for you. And what I mean by that is that we actually add that to our agents, we add it to our blueprints, we add it to the prompt library, which is another thing I haven't touched yet, but we add that in order to alter the output of each one of our agents. So that it actually gets a very good understanding of who you are, and it'll talk to you, it'll know your name, and it's able to actually write like you. So another thing that skills do as well is it actually gives it scope for your skill set and understands what you're actually good at, so that way it can try to replicate what your skills are within your writing. So all the nuances from your writing sample, your personality, all that combined into one in order to make it like the most robust personalized AI output that's ever existed, in my opinion. So from there, one last thing I want to touch on, and I know I'm going kind of long here, but we have a prompt library here. I see a ton of places online where you'd have to pay like $100 to get a 2,000 prompts, and it's just a bunch of prompts that you probably would never use. But in here, we have a complete prompt library. Anything that you need to get done that's not a blueprint or an agent, you're absolutely able to go into prompt library, select one of these, and just like the process with chatting with an agent, you're able to chat with your prompts, and it's all built into one platform for you. You don't have to go anywhere else. You can do it all within generative AI. And that is pretty much everything that I want to discuss today with you guys. I don't want to go too much longer because I know we got other people talking, but this is a powerful tool. It's enabled you to do a lot of things with your marketing, from taking your blog posts, creating, summarizing them, creating Facebook posts, so much more, all built into one app. And that's going to be it. I will go ahead and stop there.
No, excellent, because we got a ton of really great questions for you. So we can kind of do like a quick speed round before we hand it over to Ben. I'm going to ask, and maybe you can just like lightning round answer these too.
Absolutely.
Mark wants to know, are the AI agents all working at the same time, or do you choose one per project?
You choose one per project, and I don't want to give too much away, but we have other plans in the future. I'm not going to say much more than that.
Nice little tease. All right. Harold asks, does the text generated count towards our credits?
Yes.
Perfect.
It does.
And then Mark would like to know, what if we are writing for clients? Can we have multiple personalities?
Coming soon.
Okay.
Very, very soon, yeah.
Yep. And then kind of in the same vein, Birdie R asks, how many personal agents can we create? Can you create one per team member?
So yeah, that's kind of based like the question previously. That is coming soon, and we will definitely let everybody know once that is released. And this is in beta, so I mean, it is going to be hiccupy. We'll have issues here and there, but you can definitely expect a ton of updates around generative AI. We have a ton of plans for this.
Of course. Of course, we have plans. Okay. We also had some changes in the tool, but we also had some changes in pricing. So I'm going to hand it over to Ben, who is our director of RevOps, to kind of go through what the new plans look like and what they include and kind of all the bells and whistles.
Sure. Hey, everyone. Let's see if I can share my screen.
Yep.
There you go. Can you see that?
Yeah.
Cool. So we've had a load of questions about this. So we thought we'd just kind of clear up what we've done on pricing, how it works, how it affects you guys, and just kind of take it all from the top. So in a nutshell, this is our new pricing. So we've gone to basically six plans, really. So the first place people start is whether they're writing content for their business themselves or for clients. And that is where you kind of have a major differentiation in pricing. Before, in like the last version of Content at Scale, everything was just about how many posts you wanted to write, whereas now it's more about what do you want to do, who are you writing for, because we have this whole new suites of products. Like Jeff has just mentioned, we have Generative AI, we have Content Intelligence and Rankwell, which is our SEO suite, and we have Content Production, which is what you've always known us for, but which is now better. So on the business side, we have two main tiers here, individual and team. Primary difference between these two tiers is the amount of seats you get. So you're saving money if there's 3 or more of you on the team plan, effectively. But there's also some other nice features in there, like document tagging and customer success and things like that. That's where most people start with us now. Both of these plans include our Gen AI, like Jeff just showed you, with 25,000 words you can use in there, effectively. Also includes Amy Chat and unlimited AI detector scans. So a lot of clients use us just for AI detection. That's all included in these plans now as well. That's where most people start with us. But we are rearranging this page to make this a little bit clearer. But you can also get the content production bundle on top of those plans for an extra $199 a month. And that gives you all of the above, so all the Gen AI, the AI detector, but it also gives you 4 premium posts, which is what you've always used us and known us for in the past. It gives you one brand project, which means you're effectively writing for one website, because this is in the tier of writing for your business, effectively. And it gives you all of these features here, such as SEO scoring, and the new Rankwell Content Intelligence suite, which includes keyword research lookups, topic clusters, topic reports, and content briefs, which I think John is going to show you a little bit more on in the next section. So I won't go too much into detail on what they are if you don't know yet. But safe to say, these things all make a massive difference to your content production and give you everything you need. Also, as part of the Content Producer Suite, you get access to the Content Hacker community. So a lot of you guys are probably already on this tier. And there's a lot of things here coming soon, which we've teased on the pricing page, which more details will come out on very soon. So to make clear, and I think this is one thing that people get a little bit confused on if they don't know us yet, is that the undetectable AI words in these 2 plans are not really for writing long form blog content. That's not our premium SEO optimized human-like blog content. That's the kind of content Jeff was just showing you, where you're asking a chat and it's giving you great content back, but it's not in that formatted long form that you're used to. That's the content production bundle. That's the 4 posts there. So their credits, those credits are treated slightly differently. And it's important to mention anything with a number in our new system can be added onto. So whichever plan you're on, as long as you've got content production bundle, you can add an extra post or an extra 3 posts, whatever you like, or more users or more brand projects or more of any of these SEO tools as well. So it's a lot more flexible than it used to be and a lot more customizable to what you want. On all the plans, and this is something to bear in mind if you've maybe been with us for a while and are happy, you can now switch to annual billing, where you pay up front, you get 2 months free. But the advantage of that, as well as the discount, is you get all of your credits up front. So you have access to all of the credits for the year as soon as you've paid for it up front for the year, giving you the flexibility to work how you want. So if your business is seasonal or anything like that, you can front load your credits, use them as and when you like, rather than waiting for them to renew monthly. If you're creating more content for yourself or for clients, this is the kind of area for you. So the agency plans are generally in line with what we had before in terms of price points. You probably recognize these price points from before on the monthly basis. This is how they work out monthly if you go annual. These feature everything we just discussed. Again, they have all the Gen AI, all of the rank well, content intelligence, and all of the content producer, but naturally you get a different amount of credits based on what tier you're on. So as you can see here on Agency Starter, you'd get 12 premium blog posts, 5 brand projects, 3 user seats, and 50 optimization audits, 50 topic reports, and 100 keyword research and topic clusters. And then it goes up from there. So on the next one up, you get 30 blog posts, 15 brand projects. And on agency scaling, you get 60 premium posts, 30 brand projects, 10 user seats. And you get all of these extras with these tiers as well. So as I say, it's a lot more flexible than it was before. Generally, if you're creating a lot of content, you are going to be better off on these tiers. But you can pick and choose what you like, basically. And some other things that come with that as well is that if you click any of this enterprise contact us button, you can speak to our brand new sales team who can give you a demo, they can show you around, and we can help you create the right package for you, depending on what you might use in the system for. Because obviously a lot of people use it in a lot of different ways. But yeah, that's what we've done on the pricing. Obviously, a lot of you guys are probably pre-existing customers, been with us for a long time, so you'll have hopefully seen all the emails from us around the launch about how we've, grandfathered your tier across. You've not been moved to one of these tiers price-wise automatically, but your tier will be matched to one of these new ones. So say, for example, you were on our 8-post subscription before, for argument's sake, you would now be mapped to having the individual plan with all of these features extra, plus the content production bundle, because that's the same as what you were paying before, and you get all of the new credits, unless the amount of credits is lower than before, meaning you'd have 8 premium posts now. So basically, you've got the best of both worlds. You've kept your price, you've got everything new, but you've kept anything that was of a higher number before, if that makes sense. Meaning we've done that to kind of say thank you for being with us before we've made these changes and got even better. The thing to bear in mind with that is that if you do change plan, you would then change to one of the new ones. But if you need to make a change, anything like that, then feel free to speak to us. But yeah, that's what we've done on pricing. Hopefully that answers some questions. I know there's been a lot around that, but yeah, if anyone's got any, then you can always reach out to me in the chat or on email.
No, you are a mind reader, because we did actually have a question around the grandfathered pricing that you just answered.
Right.
So great timing. You did an awesome job covering everything around our new pricing. So if you do have questions, yeah, we're checking it in live chat. We can ask in real time. I'm probably going to save a few for the end as well. So keep your questions coming. They're really good questions. And so we love the conversation. All right, next we're going to hand the webinar over to Neil, who is going to cover common questions that we're getting around the V3 features, the launch, all of those things. And so I'm going to hand it over to one of the key members of our success team, Neil.
Hi, thank you for letting me know. So guys, yep, so the man-to-date issue that we are facing is one of the feature that we have is our AI Detector Pro. So where users, like when they enter contents, the AI detector doesn't detect, or it doesn't like rewrite this sentences for them. And the other thing is that it added like stuff that's not related to that content. So good thing that Jeff was able already to fix, and his team was already fixed that. And the other common question that we got on the support team is like then how to connect or how to publish their website directly to the WordPress. And aside from that, most common question is like just optimizing the content. Just basically, what we explain is use or how to increase their SEO. We just use or we share the resources that created by Julia, which is the crafts framework. So yeah, it's a great resource that can help them optimize their content. Aside from that, we from the release of V3, we haven't received any like requests from the generative AI or other feature because it's since it's new, it's like just a week. So we are going to expect more of that, and I believe in the upcoming days.
All right, great. Any other tips you might have for the folks that are leaning in and getting used to the changes?
Yeah, I would say is that yeah, I play around with content at scale. We are there as well. Support team is more than happy to assist you if you're stuck. If you need anything else, we are more than happy like to help you with that.
But playing around, I think, is a key phrase there. I think you said that
Yes.
perfectly, right? Because that's sometimes how we even learn like how these cool features. And we were talking about creating LinkedIn posts and things like that. And that's how you find
Yeah.
kind of like uncover some of these nuances is just getting your hands dirty in there and asking tons of questions here and in the content hacker community and to our support team and playing.
Yeah.
It's kind of the funnest
Yeah.
part, right?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, just like experience that I have with my client yesterday. So they asked me like if they can create like content based on or using content at scale. So I asked them that well, we can try generative AI out of out of the box, and then just get surprised that it's a good or we got a good result. We use like an AI agent for that, and they are happy with it actually. So I was actually shocked that that worked. I mean yeah, it's that's great. I mean that like the generative AI, that's like the most wonderful tool that Jeff or I mean our team has created so far.
Yeah, and it's getting so many compliments in here too. Like someone was saying how advanced Amy really is over
Yes.
ChatGPT, and it's just a lot of really positive feedback is coming in for
Yes.
the new features. All right, great.
Okay.
Yeah, awesome. Awesome tips and really great commonalities to cover, Neil. Thank you so much. So
You're
next, I'm
welcome.
going to give it over to John, who is the head of our customer success team. And he's going to, and he kind of teased this a minute ago, he's going to go through some really great workflows within the tool and kind of cover it from that perspective. So over to you, John.
Thank you. So yeah, I'm John, head of success. That means I generally I help our users optimize their workflow so they can create content truly at scale. Okay, so we're going to go over some workflow fun things, which I saw someone is new to blogging, so this will be super interesting for everyone, of course, but especially if you're new and still learning the basic workflow.
Hey,
So
John,
since
real quick, is there any way to
sure,
turn up your volume? You're just slightly a little like quieter.
yes, you got it. How's that?
Oh, beautiful. There you go. That's
Awesome.
perfect.
Love it. Okay. So we'll learn all about workflow. That'll come in handy for anyone who's new to content marketing or to blogging, but also for really anyone who's been in content marketing for years and years and just wants to speed up the workflow using content at scale. So again, this workflow has been in place for like 15 years in content marketing. It's just now getting way faster because of what we're doing here at Content at Scale. So a little history here though, with version, what I would call 0, if now is version 3, I'm going to refer to version 0 of Content at Scale. We were an agency back in the day. I'm talking 2020, and we needed a solution to scale. So it didn't exist, the solution we needed. So we made it ourselves and we tested it internally for a year before deploying it in what I will call version 1. Content at Scale users could then automatically, now that version 1 was out, draft an SEO-friendly blog post using nothing but a keyword, and then automatically publish as well, which takes us to version 2, 2022. Earlier this year, actually, where we added the ability to do keyword research right in the tool. So that's topic validation, right? Part of the workflow, which I'll go over in detail. Version 3, now you can crush your entire workflow, and it's really insane. And I'll just start showing you right now. I'll present my screen here. So let me know if you can see this. What I call crushing your content marketing workflow using content at scale. We're going to go over every bit of a workflow. And here is that workflow. And I'll tell you right here in this paragraph, an organized and streamlined workflow is absolutely crucial to content marketing because it ensures efficiency, consistency, and higher content quality. And content at scale wants you to outrank your competitors fast. So here's how. Again, that workflow, topic ideation, that is the beginning of a proper blogging, content marketing workflow. Topic validation. You want to make sure that the idea you had is actually what people are typing into Google or what people want to hear. Topic report. Now, getting into how to structure that topic when you talk about it. Content brief. You're finalizing the structure. Content creation. You are writing the actual content. And then you're getting an optimization audit to make sure it is SEO friendly. And then you're adding any human touch and human editing phase, which can include any of these factors, which again, we'll go over. And then publication, right? We want to get to the end of the rainbow. You don't just want to like create the content and learn all about it. You want your audience to actually see your content, of course, to attract visitors to your site. And then we'll do a recap at the end. So how do we do this in content at scale, and what does this mean for your workflow? I know Jeff talked a lot about Gen AI. So here's the boots on the ground way to use that. So I'm going to use an example. You'll see my whole workflow, all my secret sauce here. From generative AI, let's see if I can speak today. I can ask a marketing expert, AI chatbot. In my case, I asked Liam, the chatbot, what I should write about. So here, I asked in the generative AI, I said, I sell mini bikes. What seed keywords should I use when doing keyword research? And the chatbot responded words like mini bikes, mini motorcycles, kids mini bikes, and more. So I chose mini bikes. And I'm actually missing a GIF here. I will add that, and I'll actually link this in the if you guys want me to. This whole presentation right here. Next is topic validation. Now that I have an idea of what I want to write about, I should do my keyword research and validate whether or not people are typing that into Google. Because if they're not typing my keywords into Google, I'm not going to get traffic. Like I'm just throwing spaghetti against the wall, not getting really any traction. So if you have the content production suite, which Ben talked about, then from inside your project, you can click on keyword research like this GIF shows. I typed in the keyword mini bikes as suggested by the Content at Scale's SEO specialist, which I think his name is Liam, and got all these keywords just based on that one seed keyword. So what I did in this repeating graphic here, I selected 4 keywords and added them to my content planner. And again, here's a little reminder. Go ahead and reply in the chat with link it if you want me to drop the document into the Content Hacker community so that we can all see it. So let's move on
John,
to
it's a universal
report.
yes. Everyone is
Okay,
asking
you got
if
it.
they
You
have
got
access to this. So yes.
Okay, you got it. Absolutely. I got my eyes focused on this and not on the chat, so I appreciate that. Awesome. So let's move on. Once you actually validate topic, now we want to learn how people are talking about it, now that we know that they're talking about it, and how we should talk about it to be even better than our competition so that we can outrank our competitors. So you can take that exact same keyword and generate a topic report right in Content at Scale to help you see your competition at a glance. Here's a little, again, repeating graphic GIF here to show you. The keyword that I chose that was generated by my seed keyword here in this example is Coleman mini bike. And it shows the average word count, the average keyword frequency, and the trend data just right there in the tool, which keeps blowing my mind. Even though I've seen this for like 2 weeks now inside the tool, I just love it. Keep the workflow very streamlined. Now that we have that topic report, we can make a content brief to tell the AI exactly how to write this piece of content. So here, straight from the topic report, you can create your content brief. I know Ben was talking about these content briefs in his segment of this webinar. So based on your own expertise, as well as based on top ranking search results, you can customize the content brief. Here on the right side of this graphic, I see ranking content. Here on the left side of this graphic is my customized brief based on some of the content. I'm simply clicking add, and I'm organizing it into H2s, H3s, H4s. For those who are new to content marketing, H2 just means secondary header. H3 is just a tertiary header. SEO, we're just lazy and call it H2, H3, H4. Subheaders, right? So here I quickly added those H2s. And Content Scale will write an original piece even though you're basing it off of ranking content. It will not rip or steal directly from existing content. You get an original piece of content every time you use Content Scale. Now comes the actual content creation part, which used to be the most difficult part of content marketing because you had to, in the past, manage writers. Julia can tell you way more about this than I can. She managed like 90 to 100 writers at a time. It's incredibly difficult to rely on some of these writers as well as their subject matter expertise, which is why Content at Scale has become so popular, because now you do not have to rely on a team of writers. You just get a draft straight from Content at Scale. So from that one seed keyword, again, I chose 4 keywords to write for. I believe one was Coleman mini bike, one was mini bikes for adults, another keyword was Coleman mini bike, a certain type of Coleman mini bike, and then the 4th one was 49cc mini bikes. That's the motor size of a certain mini bike that people like. So for each of these drafts, the writing alone would take a human at least a full day, even if they're a subject matter expert. I've seen agencies who that just happens all the time. It just takes so long to write the content. It took me 4 minutes to write all 4 of these. So on average, it's 1 minute per draft, like pretty insane. So let's check out the actual content that it wrote. Here in this graphic here, I'm scrolling down through the content and you can see some of the key takeaways it gives us, the table of contents, of course, the catchy intro, the H2s. Again, there's that green key takeaway. We even have some click to tweets there. All SEO friendly, all SEO formatted, but also written in a human-like way. Again, that entire draft was written in 4 minutes. So now that it's written, let's go ahead and optimize it with an optimization audit. To raise your SEO score, you can perform an audit, and it'll give you like a laundry list of tasks that you can put your human touch on. So you edit those manually, and when you're done, you toggle the little boxes to tell yourself that they're done. And now we give the article the human touch with human editing. Now, when human editing your Content at Scale written draft, you can do so based on, of course, the optimization audit, the list that it gave you to improve. And then the SEO checklist here that you'll see under checklist, under the SEO tab to the right of your editor when you're in Content at Scale. And then also based on Content at Scale's craft method, which Neil mentioned earlier, and it is linked here, a little video about it, exactly how to do that. Craft is so nice because it answers the question, how do I get from AI generated content, in Content at Scale to publication, to get publish worthy content? Craft is your answer. So the SEO score is a wonderful tool and I use it all the time, but ultimately, and I stress this all the time, if you've ever seen me on a call or a presentation, I'll stress this. If your content is relevant, helpful, and readable to your audience, publish it. Push it out the door every time to get your audience the information they need, which brings us, of course, to publication from Content at Scale. The sort of end of the rainbow in terms of the workflow. So publishing your blog post from Content at Scale is super easy. You can either do that from using Content at Scale's WordPress integration, which Neil talked about earlier. You just do this. You literally go to the status and click published. And if you're integrated into WordPress, that status is updated on Content at Scale and on WordPress. They synchronize to each other, and it's that easy. If you're not using any Content at Scale integration, you can still publish very easily by clicking this 3-dot menu that keeps repeating here in this graphic. click on code view to copy all the HTML and paste it into your content management system, or CMS, which WordPress is a very popular. Now, a little tip: when you do paste HTML into your CMS, you following me with all the acronyms here? Make sure you're toggled to HTML view or code view on your CMS. Then you can paste the HTML there. And that's it. That's the end of the rainbow in terms of workflow and how Content at Scale optimizes that for you so you can crush your content creation at scale. So no matter your content workflow, you can absolutely dominate using Content at Scale. Simply pick and choose which features you need when you need them. And my team and I, like Neil said, we're always here to help you along the way, to help you adopt whatever features you need to truly scale your content. If you ever need help, you can find instant answers in our knowledge base or reach out to our team here. When you're logged into Content at Scale, there's a little purple icon in the bottom right corner of the screen. You can click it to expand this huge menu here. You can click on your tasks, our help for the knowledge base, or messages to send us a message, and we get back to you pretty promptly with very detailed information. So I do want to let you know that creating this entire workflow tutorial took me less than like a quarter of the time it would take for a writer to write one piece of content. And I got 4 pieces of content out of it. And the content wasn't even my focus, the tutorial was. So anyway, I will certainly link this in the community. So those of you who are in the community, welcome to check that out. That's it.
Dang, that was amazing.
Appreciate it.
Oh my gosh. Wow. And like such inspiration for like our future, the future of the content that we produce too. Cause I mean, being the social media person and everything, like that was just amazing. And I want to do more of that. That was incredible. We're getting some really great questions. So I'm sorry, John, go ahead.
Sure. Yeah. I was just saying, I love where the workflow can go beyond what we just saw. Like, even though how great that is, like there's so much more.
Yeah. Oh gosh. Yeah. I mean, now that the tool is so flexible, there's just so many ways you can work the system and use it. And oh my gosh, like we just need to focus on that for like part of our content initiatives internally. Like it was amazing. We're getting some really, really incredible questions that I am going to get to at the end. I want to keep going here because we've got some tremendous momentum, and I want to hand it over to our president, Julia, who I mentioned at the beginning of the webinar. The team was in San Diego last week because we didn't have just a launch last week. We were also sponsoring Brighton SEO in San Diego, where Julia was like the final act, and it was this amazing like speech and like closing out the conference. Like so much energy was there. So she's going to tell us about the results that you can get and some inspiration for what V3 and what the future holds for your content.
Let's do it. I love it. And yeah, we're seeing questions, guys. So we'll definitely get to those. That's important. Maybe John can get ready to screen share and walk you through some of the questions that you have specifically around the tool. So let's get to that after. I'll keep this pretty brief. I just want to share like 10 minutes or so all around what I actually spoke about at Brighton SEO. So let me go ahead and share my screen. I'm going to see if I can just share the PowerPoint. Can you guys see that?
Yep.
Awesome. Very cool. So, like Diana was saying, I totally had the honor to be the final headline. I didn't realize it, even though Ben had told us. I didn't realize I was until like the day of. And I'm like, oh, I'm closing this thing. And it was really great because we heard the whole time at the conference all about how content at scale is the answer. And that term was used over and over, but it was used in ways where people were still demonstrating old techniques. It was so funny. And I even did an Edge of the Web podcast recording live on stage, and I felt like the devil's advocate because there were so many people there that were on the consultant side of SEO that were completely anti-AI. And in the conversations I had, I really think it came from a place of fear because there is a lot of job loss, a lot of reorganization of roles in work. So it's pretty crazy to see that. But we had an amazing time. We got some incredible connections out of it that I'm really excited about. Ben just finished a demo with Shopify. So you guys, like, my goodness, it was worth the time. But I want to run you through some things that we talked about. I'm just going to jump through a few of my slides that are probably some of the most important pieces, especially as it ties to V3. So something that I did on stage that was really fun, I did a litmus test. And a lot of you, like Victoria, the Derricks, Paul, Kiara, a lot of you already know the potency of our AI long form writer and how good it can get with nailing your style. But Brighton SEO didn't know that. So it was really cool to run this test. What I did was I took a blog from the internet at large, written by a human writer 2 years ago, and I read this blog to them. I'm going to read it to some of you. So here goes. We're just going to read a snippet from it. Moreover, it's crucial to understand how to use each content marketing strategy effectively to create a cohesive overall content marketing strategy. Okay, so that's one sentence. And I'm going to reveal that that was a human writer. So here's what Content at Scale's AI can be trained to do. I'm going to read some of this. This is the first few paragraphs of a blog generated without any human editing. So listen, here it goes. Ever feel like you're screaming into the void with your email marketing? Crafting perfect emails, but they just tumble into the inboxes of a handful? You're not alone. Many think that creating killer content will automatically grow their subscriber list. If only it were that simple. So that's my style at Content Hacker, which comes from some of the top read bloggers in the world who are not me. I've studied under the best. And that was trained in our custom voice section in the project settings. Pretty incredible stuff. And the other blog was written by a human writer back in 2021. And it had words like moreover, numerous, unique benefits. So very repetitive words. So it's incredible that we can now publish content that is this good straight out of AI, which is our slogan on our t-shirts. Now you know where that comes from. So that blew minds. And I'll tell you, the long form side of everything is just getting better and better. We haven't lost a focus by adding in Gen AI and all the features you saw Jeff and John and Ben touch on. We haven't lost the focus of the long form writer. This continues to get better and better, right? With topic reports, optimization audits. So that's the beautiful thing about this. With the V3 launch is this still gets better and better. So I want to jump over into another really important section. You're not going to get the whole 40-minute talk. Sorry. We don't have time for that today. But I want to share with you some of the critical things that relate to V3. So this is another piece. Back in December of 2022, and some of you already know this, Google launched the extra E in EAT. And it is all around experience. That's how you win and get to the top of search, by really boosting the personal experience in your content. And when Google defines this, which they actually do in their search quality rater guidelines, they talk about people with a wealth of personal experience being the ones that can create truly trustworthy content. And the examples they give, people that have actually spent time doing something, people that have actually had the experience. And it's funny because in December 2022, we had seen ChatGPT out for a month. And if you think about what Google says here, it almost sounds like they're talking about the person versus the robot. And I think that they were really getting ahead of an onslaught of just really garbagey content about to hit search because, let's face it, everybody now thinks they can open ChatGPT and instantly have access to a really good writer. That's just not the case. ChatGPT isn't doing the research. It's pulling from the internet at large. It's one LLM. It's not refined to actually curate a good article. And that's what you get with Content at Scale. It's built to generate amazing content. Like what you saw Jeff show us with the Gen AI side. Even on that side, it's a curated, like a rocket ship with a focus, right? It's actually built to give you a robust content solution. So when Google talks about high EAT, this is another piece that really caught my attention last December. They actually talked about social media posts and forum discussions. And Google generally doesn't specifically reference social media or a non-website experience at all. In fact, they've been very ambiguous for years. We didn't even know if social media played into the SERPs. Now we do. Google actually says that this is considered a high quality factor. And that's what Gen AI gives you, which is what launched this November. that gives you a way to create laser targeted social media and short form content. So we're bringing all the features of Content at Scale to you in additional formats. And look at this, Google is now looking for that side of it too. So you got to build up this presence whenever you're thinking of, well, why should I use Content at Scale? Why does blogging matter? We have somebody here that's brand new to blogging. Think about it this way. This is what Google says. If you become the uniquely authoritative go-to source for your topic, that is when you win. That's when you stand head and shoulders above all the other content creators. And what's interesting is whenever we've studied SGE, which I have at length, you see niche sites winning over and over. So sites like Forbes.com that have tons of DA and they've had that for years, they're getting pushed down in favor of people right here on the call, like John and Victoria Derrick, our users that own a website, an amazing website called Hawaii Guide. By the way, you guys, this was in my Brighton talk, and I had people in the hall come up to me and tell me they have watched your YouTube channel. How amazing is that? So you had some fans of Brighton SEO, just saying. So whenever you think about SGE reforming the search experience, it's important to understand that we actually have an incredible opportunity. And if you listen to a lot of naysayers in the SEO industry, which the whole industry is kind of negative, there's a lack of optimism because SEO has been such a difficult journey for so many SEOs. But the optimistic perspective, which is also very real, is that we have an opportunity to win with our niche sites in a way that we quite honestly haven't had since Google authorship was here back in 2013. So this is incredible. We can actually get found in the SGE carousel, which goes up to 9 results. We got 3 times 3. You can scroll through. There's opportunity for more niche site creators than there ever was. And how can we win? How can we do this without adding on more work? Use Content at Scale. It's that simple. Like what John showed you, he created a workflow. And in that workflow of showing you how to use Content at Scale, he generated 4 articles in about 1/4 the time it would normally take to create just one. That is insane. And what I said earlier is really critical, right? We're not just creating content to get content done quickly. We're creating content to actually build authority. And Content at Scale is one of the only AI content producers built to do that. So you can really shortcut your results. Marcus Campbell at Affiliate Marketing Dude, he has a YouTube channel called that, wrote over 1,000 blogs with AI, and 95% of them had 0 human editing. What? That's insane. And these blogs ranked at the top for keywords that had over 15,000 searches per month. This case study totally blew my mind. If you can't tell, I'm like really excited about this one because this is formerly impossible. Like John said, I used to manage 100 writers, and doing this kind of content was impossible unless you paid thousands of dollars and waited months and months. But we can now do this in such a short amount of time and for the cost, even at the new pricing of V3, which the value you're getting is tremendous, right? We have optimization audits. We have topic reports, things that we've never had before. We have short form content. The blueprints and the AI agents, they haven't all rolled out yet. Like we're going to have so much more coming to this platform. That's incredible. So just remember, all the myths you might hear when you scroll LinkedIn and the socials, which are so full of noise, is that Google in the end looks for high quality content. So if you're applying the craft framework, if you're reading the content, if you're making sure that you're not just spitting something out of AI and publishing it only to save time, but you think about, does this satisfy actually building topical authority? Is it on the right keyword, right? John's workflow is a great resource for you. But we can do this infinitely faster than at any other point in content history. Just saying. So that's crazy. So the AIO approach is what we teach. It's built on the craft framework. You've already gotten familiar with this. If you're here, you've probably heard it over and over. And this is where I landed at Brighton SEO. You know, in the end, we got to remember we're talking to people whenever we publish content. And that's why it's critical to still think about humanizing our AI content and using the right tool. And this message really resonated with some big companies that came and found us later. You know, I was at a conference this year, MayCon, and writer.com had sponsored it. And their main marketing claim was that they are HIPAA compliant. And the AI ethicist that spoke there actually stood up and said, Olivia Gamblin, she stood up and said, if you make a claim that you can't actually substantiate because LLMs, it's hard to actually guarantee something, then you're creating risk and your whole marketing can go, it's built on the sand and it can be washed away completely. So what we're building at Content at Scale is something that I like to say is the safe side, the beneficial side of AI, because there's so much out there in AI right now that is just not safe. If you upload your proprietary materials, let's say you had a Zoom call with an influencer and there was some incredible stuff said on that call. Well, if you feed it to another tool besides Content at Scale, that's feeding the LLMs at large. But we don't do that, right? We actually protect data whenever our users upload that. So that's just one feature. And if you're not even using Content at Scale yet, think about that with any AI tool you use. Am I working on the right side of AI? It's very scary. I mean, this is very dramatic, but you get the picture. So Content at Scale with V3 is a robust solution for content production, especially with these 3 technology suites that we now have that create the basis for so much, right? We have Rankwell, that's our registered trademark now for all of the SEO technology that's built into our tool. The content producer is that long form content writer you all know and love that I use every day. And then generative AI is that brand new technology that we showed you earlier with Jeff's demo. So that's it from me. That is where we landed with Brighton SEO. We went through all those new technologies and kind of landed on showing people what we built. And it's funny because whenever I shared those slides, we had just launched the technology about, I think, 2 days prior. So it was really, really exciting to be able to do that. So I'll hand it back to you, Diana.
Ooh. This is like some hard acts to follow. You guys have been like on fire today. I love it. For like Friday, like, oh my God, you guys are amazing. I love the conversations that we're having in the chat. There's just so many interesting questions. One of them was if the Brighton slides are publicly accessible.
Yes.
Yeah, I want to think about that one. And we're running like really low on time. So I want to make 2 announcements and then I want to get to just a couple of questions. So if you want to hang in there, hang out with us for a little bit longer and I'll get to those questions. But 2 quick announcements. So everyone has talked about so many features that are brand new. We are publishing on our social channels all of these features and how to use them. We've got some short videos. We've got some interactive ways to kind of keep these top of mind or kind of continue to explore them since they're so new. So just keep an eye on our socials for that information coming out over the next 2 weeks. Also, I really want to plug this. If you were watching our socials yesterday, particularly Julia's, you may have seen that Julia and I were in Austin yesterday. So we were scouting our venue for our upcoming event. We have Content Hacker Live happening in March 12th and 13th. So save the date. It's going to be our inaugural event for content marketers. We're going to talk all about AI content. We have some incredible headliners. Julia, do you want to talk about them real quick?
Yes, absolutely. I just dropped the link in the comments. Although that link is not updated, I want to shout out real quick. We got Joe in the audience here. I've seen him, so I'm going to call you out. You're here. But Top Click Joe, he actually just dropped a comment and said he started offering SEO in his company when he started using Content at Scale. This is a man over 65, y'all, that should be retired. Like, he has done incredible things in his life, built amazing businesses, and he can't retire because he found Content at Scale, and his company has now increased reoccurring monthly income as of $31,000. That's incredible. So over 30K in new revenue per month reselling Content at Scale. So he's actually going to be a speaker. We don't have that live on the page yet, but he will be a speaker at Content Hacker Live. We're going to get some of our top users down there to speak and educate and teach. I'll be the host. So I'll be the reluctant introvert on stage. Yes, did you know I'm an introvert? Shock, shock. So that will be lots of fun. And then we'll actually have robots on stilts walking around. We're creating this whole vibe.
Spoiler alert, we have to keep something surprise.
And come down to find out the rest.
Yeah, we had a really great time at the venue yesterday. So many wonderful ideas. We've got so much in the works. So stay tuned. Again, stay tuned to your emails. Stay tuned to our socials. You'll be seeing so much more about it as we get closer and more details like finalized. And you know, Julia will be talking all about the stilts. So just keep an eye on everything as March approaches. All right, I'm going to move. I do want to get to some of our questions. So if you have a few more minutes to hang out, I'm going to keep John online because we've got some really cool, like actual tool pieces and questions to go over. MCC White Hat had some really great questions about the tool itself. And one of them was how to delete references. Could you walk us through that real quick?
Yes. Let me share.
While you're doing that, there's a funny comment from FN Affiliate that says introverts don't dress up like robots. And that is actually totally, Julia just like completely myth busted that because she dressed up as a robot not that long ago for another conference that she was speaking at. So it happens here at Content at Scale.
When I do something, I don't do it small. So I have to like shove my introvertness in a box for a minute. I can do that. And then I go right back in my hole.
Great. All right. Back to our question. Over to you, John. Go for it.
Yeah. So I'm sharing in preparation for the next question after that. But to answer that first question, how to delete references that do not apply to your keyword, what I would first do is check project settings. And I would do this first every time. Check project settings first to make sure, excuse me, that your project settings are not referencing anything outside the scope of the keywords you typically look for. What do I mean by that? I mean, sometimes I see projects where it mentions sustainability or something, and this is just the one I thought of recently, or I had recently, and the user was confused why every article was mentioning sustainability. Well, it's because it's in the project settings, and the AI heavily considers the project setting because that's how it knows who your audience is. Also, within project settings, you can tell it to exclude certain websites or competitors. So there's a quick way to do that. Another question from the same guest there was how do you change an H2 to an H3? In the content brief, you can you click on H2 and just drag it to the right to make it an H3. Click, drag farther to make it an H4. And then that solidifies where that header would be in the content brief. And I know there was another question earlier from Sean. What part of this tool can improve existing blog posts and SEO optimization? Hence my screen share here. So if you have content intelligence, then you can click on it and go to optimization audit and do an optimization audit for something that you haven't even created in Content at Scale, just any blog post out there on the internet. So I did so with this blog post here just a few minutes ago. It's about how fast do 50cc and 125cc scooters go. It scored a dismal 18 out of 100. So I didn't, write this. It's just some article out there on the internet. And you can view more detail there, but that's how you do that. You add the URL here, add the target keyword, and add the region you're targeting or that you suspect that they are targeting, the language, and then analyze. And that's how you optimize or improve existing blog posts that are not created with Content at Scale. I hope that helps.
It does. So as someone who has a very, very long history of SEO and needing this sort of information, like this is so valuable for content that you didn't create through Content at Scale, but then when you're in content, in the tool, creating the content and having that information like before you publish is so valuable. It just gives you, I think, the leg up before it even goes live for the world. And so just amazing features and the usability. We were just talking about how you can like drag with the H tags, like incredible UX design. I think we did not to toot our own horn, but I think like we did a great job thinking through the UX on that and the usability for how to make things even more simple and like intuitive. So really cool things. John also had a question about image insertion in the tool.
Sure.
Could you walk us through that real quick?
Yes. Let's see. I'll use my example project here, which was mini bike one. Click into it, and you'll see like 4 or 5 articles, the ones I, of course, showed on the call. Let's click on this one. I've never seen it before. I've never viewed this one before, so let's go ahead and click on that. It scored a 78 right out of AI, or as some of our shirts say here, straight out of AI. And image insertion. So over on this media tab here, you can quickly add images straight from your desktop by click and dragging or going to find it, on your desktop, or click on the gallery here. And actually lots of changes coming soon with making this a little easier. But right now it's still very easy. So the gallery here searches unsplash.com, which is free. We've just put it into the tool for major convenience. So it automatically did a search for my keyword. If I don't like the results, I can type in, any other, keyword search, and then link that as my, select that and click use as featured image. Or I can also click and drag any of these or anything from my desktop to insert an image, and we will automatically compress it so that it does not hurt load time on your website, just making it super easy.
Again, love that. Love the UX. I love our design here. All right, I'm going to end on this question because I think it's perfect to wrap this webinar up with. Lewis would like to know if we have any content at scale insider tips and tricks. I'd like to everyone, I'm sure all of you guys have some sort of cool thing you want to give a shout out. So we'll start with you, John, and then we can maybe go through the team.
Yes, I dump all of my secret sauce into our knowledge base at help.contentatscale.ai. It's literally, it's in my brain, it's in there. I just put it there, and my team also.
It's in your brain, it's in there. I love it.
Yep.
Because we all want to be in your brain right now.
The knowledge base is my brain. Yeah, and it's growing. Yep.
Great, I love it. All right, Jeff, you're next on my screen. So any favorite tips or tricks?
Yeah. Of course. So take all of your top performing social posts, whether LinkedIn, Twitter, X, whatever we're going to call it, Facebook, wherever you're posting on socials, and you take all your top performing ones, put it into, it's a long list, and add that into one of the agents for social media, and actually have it create new topics with the same formatting from your top performers, and you'll have a whole entire list of really good, unique content that you're able to then use for social media that is performing well. So that's definitely a good use case right there too.
Love it. And social media is near and dear to my heart, so I love that use case. All right, Julia, you're next on my screen. Any tips or tricks you want to share?
There we go. My screen froze. I was like, trying to hit unmute. Yeah. I would just say, if you're thinking about, I want to speak to the people that are on the fence thinking about content at scale. I know we got a few in our community that are. First of all, I'd love if Paul, Victoria, Derek, anyone watching, drop in the comments what you like about content at scale. Tell us. We'll feature that here on screen. I'd love to hear from you because it's really our users that make us capable of building the next best thing. It's what you see, how you use this technology that really matters the most. So use it. Like Diana said earlier, or was it John? Get in the technology, put it to use. If you haven't used Gen AI, if you haven't used the content producer, start with that first plan. You can get in now at $49 for the Gen AI side. Start there, jump in, start to use it. It will absolutely change your life. The long form content producer is saving me 7 hours out of an 8-hour blogging process, and it's saving my writers the same time too. So that is a 7x return on my time, right? That's incredible. When have we ever been able to get that? I like how Victoria's saying so many things. So that's my tip, coming from the users, and just jump right in.
So did Road Trek TV there. Everything, great customer service, everything is nice. I mean, you can't really it's just wonderful feedback. Thanks for feeding our egos. Neil, any other tips or tricks you want to share?
Sure. Yeah. So before making a content with content at scale, just make sure that you do a keyword research. This is the most important part because let's say didn't do that content at scale, or our AI will going to definitely will not, or just like if you don't know what keyword, there's Amy chat. You can describe what website or what project you're working on. You can ask Amy that what keywords, like, works best with this. And next thing you do is just use our keyword research tool. So that's a great tool for you making great content or several contents.
Awesome. All right. And Ben, wrap us up.
I would say I'm going to be a bit cheeky and go with two. One is to set up your own custom tone of voice from your project settings, so you can get the long form content writing as you, like it's scarily good. And two is once you've used it, once you love it, save yourself some money and use an annual plan. You get 2 months free, so win-win. Thirdly, someone mentioned in the comments that some of my replies are not coming through to YouTube. Haven't managed to fix that, but I have tried to reply to all of you. But if it hasn't come through, then please email me at ben@content@scale.ai, and I will help you offline there later.
All right. Amazing conversation from everyone in the chat. Thank you all so much for joining us. We hope to get to know you and answer more questions in the community. So if you are maybe not part of the community, this is your chance to join. We're super active. I'm the head of it now, so it's been great getting to know all of you a little bit more today. It's going to be a fabulous time over there at Content Hackers, and save that date for March. And yeah, you can always get a hold of us through our emails, through our socials. We're absolutely here to help. We love to hear from you. So please don't hesitate to reach out whenever you can. For all of you in the US, have a wonderful Thanksgiving and have a great weekend. Thank you. Bye, everybody.
Bye.